Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Trina Dotto, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, JIS College of Engineering. Today, I will tell about water quality parameter. It is the part of the water already I have started in the lecture 1. I have told that definition of hardness, the classification of hardness, and how we can determine it, and what are the disadvantages of uses hard water. And also I have discussed in my last lecture, that is the definition of alkalinity, how we can determine it, and what are the causes of alkalinity. Not only that, I have discussed different water quality parameters, the physical water quality parameters, chemical water quality parameters, and also biological water quality parameters. So today I will complete the chapter water. And if you have any doubt, you can communicate through either my mobile number or through my email ID. And this is my course page that is very important for you. All the digital content are uploaded here. So anytime, anywhere you can check it and you can study anytime. So name of the subject, chemistry. Subject code for odd semester, that is CH101. For even semester, that is CH201. And this course is for BTech undergraduate students. For odd semester, the streams electrical, EC and BME read chemistry. And for even semester, the streams are CSC, IT, civil and mechanical. The credits are 3, total contact hours 36. So I will take weekly 3 lectures for each section. Prerequisite knowledge required, the 12 standard, and you will learn different concept of chemistry. So here I have given the course outcomes and the entire syllabus. So today I will cover the syllabus, that is hardness and alkalinity problems, that is already highlighted. This is the module 4, water. So lecture 2, hardness and alkalinity problems. So students will be able to apply the knowledge of water quality parameters in industries. So in my last lecture, already you have learned different water quality parameters and how we can categorize the different water, like A category for drinking purpose, or B category for the like bathing purpose, C category for industrial use. So you have learned different water quality parameters like physical, chemical and biological parameters. So today you will learn different problems on hardness and also the numericals to determine alkalinity. You have last lecture, you have already learned that how we determine in the chemistry department, we can do it, how we determine by practically the hardness. So I told you that to determination of the hardness, there are 2 parts. One is total hardness, another is calcium hardness. So when we calculate the calcium hardness, we subtract the calcium hardness from the total hardness and we can calculate the magnesium hardness. So can you remember the procedure I have already told in the last lecture? Okay, I'm telling it. So first of all, we have to take 50 ml of tap water in a conical flask, 250 ml conical flask. Then add buffer solution, 1 ml buffer solution. Buffer solution generally, it is the weak acid and the salt of the weak acid, or weak base and salt of the weak base. So here we take ammonium chloride and ammonium hydroxide as buffer solution. So why we add the buffer solution? We add it to resist the change of pH value. Buffer we add in the solution to resist the change of pH value for the solution. So here this determination of hardness in this experiment, we call it also the complexometric titration. Why? Because the complex are formed. And to form this complex, we require to maintain the pH value at 10. So we add the buffer solution to maintain the pH value at 10. So we add 1 ml of buffer solution. Then we add the indicator, that is EBT. After that, we titrate it with the EDTA solution, 0.01 molar EDTA solution. So we take EDTA in the burette. And when you add the EBT indicator, areochrome black tea indicator in the solution, then the color of the solution will become wine red. And when the end point reached, the color will become blue, kerosene blue. Okay, so in this way, we do the titration process. After that, we do the calculation. So the calculation part, few of the calculation part I will show here, that how you can calculate hardness. So another part I told that first part we do the total hardness, second part we do the calcium hardness. So calcium hardness, we add the Calcon indicator. First of all, we have to remove the magnesium as we will calculate only the calcium hardness. So we add sodium hydroxide 3 molar and it will react with magnesium present in the solution. Then it will precipitate down. Then we titrate it with the EDTA and we give the indicator, that is Calcon. So here also you will get the color change. So we use the Calcon indicator, not the EBT, because EBT will not work in the higher pH range. As we add NaOH, so the pH value will increases. That is why we have to take the different indicator. Okay, clear? And this part you will be more clear when you will do the practical in the chemistry lab. So now you solve one problem. That is a very easy problem. First read it carefully. The problem 1, a sample of water contains 15.5 gram calcium sulfate and 8.5 gram magnesium bicarbonate per million parts of water. Per million parts of water means ppm, parts per million, milligram per liter. So we express the hardness in terms of calcium carbonate, that is milligram per liter unit, milligram per liter or ppm. calculate temporary hardness in terms of calcium carbonate. So first, look carefully. You have to calculate only temporary hardness. So you have to know that due to which ion temporary hardness takes place and due to which ion permanent hardness takes place. So here two ions are present. One is temporary hardness, another is permanent hardness. So due to which ion temporary hardness, you tell me that due to which ion temporary hardness? One ion present, that is the one salt present, that is the calcium sulfate, another present, that is the magnesium bicarbonate. So for magnesium bicarbonate, that is called temporary hardness, because you know that bicarbonate ion causes the temporary hardness and sulfate ion causes the permanent hardness. So here the question is, what is the question? Calculate temporary hardness in terms of calcium carbonate. So you have to calculate temporary hardness. So we only consider bicarbonate, and I told you the hardness is expressed, hardness and alkalinity both are expressed in terms of calcium carbonate. You have seen that when we remove the hardness, like temporary hardness, just by simple boiling. So after the boiling of calcium bicarbonate, we get the precipitate of calcium carbonate. So basically, calcium carbonate is not soluble in water. We get the precipitate of it and it is removed. So here, we always calculate in terms of calcium carbonate. And it is very easy to calculate also calcium carbonate because its molecular weight is total is 100. So now how we will calculate in terms of calcium carbonate? So you see that already salt is given, only you have to convert it into the calcium carbonate. So very easy one. So first of all, we have to calculate the equivalent weight of magnesium bicarbonate. So first molecular weight, how much? That is the magnesium is atomic weight 24 plus hydrogen is 1, carbon is 12, 1 plus 12, 13 plus for oxygen 16, 16 into 3, 48. So 48 plus 13, it is the 61. 61 into 2, here is the 2. 61 into 2, that is the 122 plus 24, that will be how much? Can you tell? It is 146. Okay. Now, the molecular weight you got 146. Now the equivalent weight will be 146 divided by 2, that is 73. Now you have to also calculate the equivalent weight of the calcium carbonate. So here it is calcium is 40, carbon is 12, oxygen is 16 into 3, that is 48. So total is 100. So now equivalent weight will be 100 by 2, that is the 50. So how you get the equivalent weight? Either you have to divide it by basicity or acidity, or number of, for the salt, number of electron dissociated. Now we can tell the equivalent weight of any salt is equivalent weight of any other salt. So here equivalent weight of magnesium bicarbonate is equivalent to, that is 73, is equivalent to equivalent weight of calcium carbonate. That is the 50 gram of calcium carbonate. Now, in the question, from the question we get it that 8.5 gram of magnesium bicarbonate is equivalent to, we have to calculate equivalent to how much calcium carbonate. So by unitary method, you know that 50 divided by 73 into 8.5, and if you calculate, you will get 5 gram of calcium carbonate. So we can write that the temporary hardness is equal to 5.8 milligram per liter or ppm. So you have learned to solve the problem. Okay, now you can solve the problem yourself. So I am giving you the problems to solve in the home. So here are two similar type of problem. A waste sample contains that much calcium, that much magnesium. You have to calculate the hardness. An answer also given. So you will solve in the home and match with the answer. If you have problem, then communicate with me. So you have learned the problem of hardness. Now, the problem on the numericals on alkalinity of water. So I told how you will determine the alkalinity in the laboratory. You have to take the tap water sample. If you want to calculate the alkalinity of tap water, then you take the tap water sample, then you have to titrate with HCl. So you are taking in burette HCl. So you have to measure the burette reading. Okay, then as the burette reading is equivalent to the alkalinity, so in this way we can calculate. So read the problem carefully. I titrate 25 ml water sample with 0.1250 molar HCl. I achieve the first endpoint at 22.5 ml of HCl and the second after addition of another 27.6 ml of HCl. What is the total alkalinity? So you have to calculate the total alkalinity. So if there may be different, that means alkalinity may be due to carbonate, due to bicarbonate. Okay, so there is two steps reactions. So we have to consider the total required, total consumed volume of the HCl. So total consumed volume of the HCl is 22.5 ml plus 27.6 ml is equal to 50.1 ml of HCl. Now we can say that consumed HCl is equivalent to the alkalinity in terms of calcium carbonate. So how we can write it? That if it is like 1 molar HCl is equivalent to 1 molar of calcium carbonate. So in this way we are writing 0.1250 molar HCl and the total consumed volume, that is, it is in the ml, 50.1 ml. So we are writing that is the in the liter, that means we have to divide it by 1000. We are getting 0.0501 liter. So this is equal to how much we have calculated, that mole of HCl. So this much mole of HCl is equivalent to this mole of HCl into 1 mole calcium carbonate by 2 mole HCl, 1 by 2 into 100.08. And if you want to convert in the milligram, then we have to multiply by 1000 milligram. Then you will get the answer. So we can tell the alkalinity in terms of calcium carbonate, that is 313.38 milligram calcium carbonate, that is equal to divided by 0.025 liter is equal to 12,535 milligram calcium carbonate per liter. So you have learned to calculate alkalinity. Now, hardness removal process. I will tell in detail that how hardness can be removed. So first, you know that there is two types of hardness, temporary hardness and permanent hardness. So first of all, how we can remove the temporary hardness. So temporary means not the long lasting. So removal of temporary hardness can be done by only simple boiling process. So here you can see the simple boiling process. You can see here that calcium bicarbonate, after boiling we are getting calcium carbonate. So it is the precipitate of calcium carbonate we are getting. If the temporary hardness is due to magnesium, that is magnesium bicarbonate is present, then after boiling we get magnesium carbonate. So in this way the temporary hardness can be removed. Next, treating with lime water. So lime means calcium oxide, CaO, plus H2O, we get calcium hydroxide. CaO plus H2O, we get calcium hydroxide, this one. Now, this calcium hydroxide will react with calcium bicarbonate. Then we get the precipitate of calcium carbonate. So in this way, in form of calcium carbonate, the hardness can be removed. So if it is for magnesium bicarbonate, so magnesium bicarbonate plus calcium hydroxide, we get the precipitate of calcium carbonate, magnesium carbonate, and 2H2O. So in this way, the temporary hardness can be removed. So removal of permanent hardness. So this is not too easy, but it can be done. It is possible. So there are different processes we can remove the permanent hardness. So permanent hardness cannot be removed by heating only. Soluble salts of calcium and magnesium are turned to insoluble salt by the following methods. So first is treatment with washing soda. So soda, that is the sodium Na2CO3. Soda is the Na2CO3. This one, Na2CO3. So you have to show the reaction with, you will show it is better to show with calcium salt, another with the magnesium salt. So here you can see the calcium chloride. Here there will be 2, okay, CaCl2 plus Na2CO3, we are getting the precipitate of calcium carbonate and NaCl. For magnesium sulfate, we are getting magnesium carbonate and Na2SO4. So if we summarize the lime soda process, so here you can see that the temporary hardness and permanent hardness both can be removed. So here the temporary hardness, first reaction, that calcium bicarbonate with lime. This one is the lime, calcium oxide plus H2O, we get calcium hydroxide. Then we get the precipitate of calcium carbonate plus H2O. Magnesium bicarbonate, that is also temporary hardness. Then calcium hydroxide, we get calcium bicarbonate plus magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium carbonate plus calcium hydroxide, we get precipitate of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium chloride, so it is the example, our reactions are given with different salts. These are the magnesium chloride, this is the permanent hardness. So it reacts with calcium hydroxide, we get the precipitate of magnesium hydroxide. Okay, then another example like magnesium sulfate, it is a sulfate salt that is also permanent hardness, react with lime, calcium hydroxide, we get the precipitate. Now with the soda, so calcium chloride, Na2CO3, we get the calcium carbonate and NaCl. Calcium sulfate plus Na2CO3, calcium carbonate plus Na2SO4. So we get the, so hardness is removed in terms of calcium carbonate as it precipitated down. CO2 plus CaOH whole 2, then we get CaCO3H2O. So in this way, the hardness can be removed. Okay, there are other processes. So let's see. So soda lime process is done. You have understood the soda lime process. Now it is the permuted process, or also it is called zeolite process. So you can see here the zeolite bed is here and hard water entering. Then we are getting the soft water. And zeolite is a chemical, that is the sodium aluminium silicate. And it is expressed as Na2Z. Okay, sodium aluminium silicate, Na2Al2SiO8. So it is expressed as Na2Z. It reacts with calcium. Then we get calcium zeolite, CaZ plus 4Na. So you can see here the reaction. It is the reaction. Okay. So it is the sodium zeolite plus calcium, then we are getting calcium zeolite. So similar way we can do for the magnesium also, like sodium zeolite plus magnesium, then we get magnesium zeolite plus sodium. Now in this process, what is the problem? After few days the zeolite becomes inactive. Then we have to pass the brine solution. Brine solution means NaCl, sodium chloride. So we have to pass the brine solution, then we can recover the zeolite. So you can see the sodium chloride is passed with the calcium zeolite and magnesium zeolite, then it is recovered. We get the again sodium zeolite. Then ion exchange process. So in the ion exchange process, there is two compartments. you can see here, one is cation exchanger, another is anion exchanger. So in the cation exchanger, here you can see it is the cation exchanger, and this one is the anion exchanger. So in the cation exchanger, cation will be exchanged. So you get the reaction like here, the cation is calcium ion, it is exchanged, we get the hydrogen ion. And in the anion exchanger, chlorine is exchanged and we get OH ion. Now these two ions combine together, H plus, OH minus, and we get the pure H2O. So that is very pure one we get from the ion exchange method. There is only H plus ion and OH minus ion combine and water is formed. So now let's check how much you have learned. I will ask few questions, like say in the MCQ question first. Permuted process, number 1, the permuted process is the method of removing which one? Temporary hardness, permanent hardness, both temporary and permanent hardness. So it is the zeolite process. Zeolite process is permuted process. So you can write that it is for basically permanent hardness. So you can write the answer. Next is, which of the following cannot be recovered completely from hard water by boiling? So here the answer will be magnesium bicarbonate. Next, sodium aluminosilicate is used to remove hardness in permuted process, base exchange process, zeolite process, all of this. So it will be all of this. Basically permuted process and zeolite process the same. Short answer type questions. What is zeolite? So zeolite, you will tell that it is a chemical, that is the sodium aluminium silicate. So you can write the formula, it is given here, Na2L2SiO8. You have seen it. Next is, explain the zeolite process of water softening. So you can explain zeolite process. It is already I have shown you with the figure. Always when you will describe any process, you have to give the picture, then you write the working principle and give some reaction with the calcium salt and magnesium salt. And it is a problem already solved, similar type of problem. Next is how water deionized by ion exchange process, explain with equations. So you will give the figure, then working principle and the equations. Next is write a short note on hardness removal of water. So in the short note, you have to give the temporary hardness and permanent hardness both. Temporary hardness, you will write that it can be removed by simple boiling, and the permanent hardness you will write different process in short, brief, like mainly you will describe zeolite process, soda lime process and ion exchange process. There are lots of process, but these three are the main process. And so if I summarize about today's lecture, what you have learned that to determine the numericals on the hardness. So you can, after the experiment, you can determine the alkalinity, how much HCl is consumed from the Budet reading. you can determine. And for calcium hardness, if you know the how much different salts are present, like calcium sulfate or calcium chloride or magnesium bicarbonate, then you can convert in terms of calcium carbonate. And you have learned very well the removal process of hardness removal. It is for temporary hardness as well as permanent hardness. So I hope you have learned very well and you go through my digital content, and I have given you assignment there. So submit, upload your assignment, and if you have any problem, you can communicate anytime. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So now I am ending my session.